Hi, I'm Jude, and welcome to a snapshot of our paper. My colleagues and I did this work as part of RADAR-CNS, a large multimodal longitudinal mHealth study where we're collecting data in 6 countries in participants with 3 conditions, including major depression. And speech is one of those data streams. And we've been collecting it using 2 tasks scheduled for our participants every 2 weeks for approximately 2 years. And this particular work is an investigation of how acceptable participants find recording their speech on their smartphones and the barriers that can prevent them from doing so. And why should we care about these issues in speech research? Well, there's 2 ways this knowledge is useful. Firstly, if we understand the motivations and barriers that participants may encounter, we can design speech collection protocols to collect as much data as we can and the best quality data possible. And that's critical if we want advanced analytical techniques such as machine learning to perform well and live up to their potential. And it's also particularly important in health research where the interpretations we make can have big implications. Additionally, this kind of knowledge on participant acceptance is valuable when we begin to interpret and analyze the speech data that we've collected to help understand and inform any advanced analytics that we're doing. And it's particularly relevant when speech is being recorded by study participants in their daily lives and not in a highly controlled and supervised environment in a university or hospital, as has been the case in a lot of the speech health literature. And there's several factors that can influence remote speech collection, everything from the technical literacy of the participant, data privacy concerns they might have, their general health and well-being, and if in a research study, the total burden of that study and how many things that they're required to do. There's 2 main ways in which we can investigate these factors. The first, using objective measures, such as in a research study, how often did participants provide speech recordings? We can also get feedback from the participant in the form of an interview or in a survey where we ask them about their experience. So in RADAR-CNS, we designed a quick and easy online questionnaire for our participants to minimize burden and maximize responses, inviting 384 participants with major depression in Spain and the UK, and we received 209 responses. So I'm just going to zip through the 3 core areas that we focused on in our analysis. Firstly, we asked participants, how comfortable are you recording your speech? Asking them about each task separately. And if you look overall at all responses, participants generally reported feeling comfortable completing the scripted task compared to a free speech task. And this is plausible, as we might expect people to feel more comfortable reading aloud a set text with no personal relevance in comparison to talking about things they might be doing and perhaps their thoughts and feelings around that. When we looked a bit closer using linear regression, we actually found that depression severity was the biggest predictor of how comfortable participants felt, but the country of the speaker was also a predictor. In a second core area, we investigated barriers that participants reported as having prevented them from recording their speech. And arguably the take-home finding here is that 50% of participants perceived no such barriers. When they did report a barrier, the top 3 were not seeing app notifications for the speech task, low mood, and forgetfulness. Moving on to the third core area that we looked at in the paper, we looked at how participants' reporting of how often they recorded their speech compared to what they'd actually completed on the speech task in RADAR-CNS. And the reporting was quite different from reality. Participants generally overestimated their activity in the speech task. So this was quite a striking finding, and there's several factors that could play a role here that we're looking into. So we're investigating this core area and the other 2 areas I've mentioned further in our ongoing research. And if you'd like to learn some more, you can find our paper at the following link. And just before I go, I'd like to thank everybody who contributed to this work.